The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're talking about the name of your bad boss and why they were a bad boss. Don't say where they worked. We don't want to hear about that. Pierce is checking in from Aurora. Pierce, what's going on?
Hey, ahoy. What up, dog?
What up? Yeah, what's up, dog? Caught me off guard with that.
Thank you for focusing and paying attention to the show.
Gets it.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Sometimes we think no one's listening at all, and then they really are. Wow, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I texted in earlier with the umlaut answer.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's the umlaut.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the name of your bad boss, and what did he do?
So I had two. I had Alan, who is the general manager, and I had Crystal, who was his AGM. I was working at a family restaurant. Well, it was a chain, but they called it the family restaurant, but we won't name it. And Alan didn't know what to do in a crisis. Like I've been serving tables for 15 years before I started managing myself, and I was serving this difficult table. I went up to him just to solve a problem, and he completely froze. I'm like, no, just swipe your card. I can do the rest. I was 16 at the time. Like, I can do the rest. Just swipe your card and get out of my way. And then there was Crystal, who the first time I ever met her, I walked in literally 2 minutes late. She looked at me. She goes, what time is it? I go, 11:02. She goes, what time are you supposed to start? I go, 11. She goes, hi, I'm Crystal. I'm your new boss. We need to talk later. And she wrote me up for being 2 minutes late.
Oh.
She always had to prove that she was the boss.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of like those guys at concerts, and listen, most of the people that work security at concerts these days are pretty good, but there were the guys that were very, they had the one time they had power.
Yeah.
And they would go nuts. So you're out of here.
Yep.
I'm just putting my hand in the air with the medal sign. Can I stay for the show a little bit more?
Is that a crime? I'm sorry, I didn't know we lived in communist China.
Yeah, and that sounds like Crystal. That sounds like her.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she was the absolute worst. And I worked there for another 6 months. I'm like, I'm out of here, guys.
Well, at least toughed it out.
Yeah. Tried to.
Made you a better person, I bet, right?
Exactly. Well, when I started managing, I knew what not to do.
Exactly.
I feel like she has something to prove because I feel like Crystal, it's a pretty name, so I don't want to get mad, but it's a tough name to get power from. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like she had something to prove.
Kind of like she's talking, here comes Crystal to the pole.
Like no one's, yeah, it's a little more like that. But I'm sure there is a lawyer named Crystal, but it doesn't give off lawyer energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
If there's a lawyer named Crystal, please text in 312-591-8300.
It doesn't mean you're bad at it. I'm just saying.
No, I just want to see if you're right.
Oh, you just beat the odds at that point.
Yeah.
Yes. Against all odds.
Thanks for checking in, Pierce. And Kristen, we'll take one more here on your boss's name that was a bad boss and why they were, not where they were. Kristen, ahoy, what's up?
Ahoy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, her name was Jean, and I was like, I was like 8 months pregnant at the time, and we're having a meeting, and it's like my boss and like my co-workers. It was a small little office. And they're planning on, how to take care of my maternity leave. And she's like, oh, we're doing this on account of Kristen being fat and all. I was like, that's silent.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just standing there staring at her, and my coworkers are looking at me like, oh, my God, did she just really say that? And I like I said, I was 26. I just stared at her dumbfounded, didn't say anything. The meeting ended, and I'm like in tears because I'm pregnant.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I want to beat her with a frying pan.
Yeah, you should have sat on her.
Brian, what is wrong with you? You just made it worse.
No, I didn't. She has a baby and another human.
You're sick, Brian.
I didn't go back to that job.
Yeah. But you should have sat on her. It would have hurt her.
Yeah, I would have hurt her a little bit. That's right.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and it's 8:11. Now, coming up at 8:15, this is very, very serious here. It's been compilated by scientists and analytics that 8:15 a.m. is the most stressful time of the day.
Ugh.
You already there? A little early?
I've been stressed since 3 a.m.
A couple minutes early there.
Yep.
So, and they do it because it makes sense. You're basically getting ready to go out the door. You might be running a little bit late. You're trying to eat. You're trying to get the kids ready. You're doing everything you can right before you leave the house, and it's just stressful. And then when you get in your car, a lot of times you relax, you put Q101 on, and you're all good, But sometimes that's stressful because you're thinking about the job ahead of you. The whole day ahead of you is kind of, oh boy, now I got to do this, and this. So 8:15 is the most stressful time of the day. Now, what we're going to do when we come back here at 8:20, there's a way to get rid of all your stress in just 20 seconds.
It only takes you 20 seconds.
No, we can all do it. We're going to do it as a group exercise.
I don't want to do it as a group.
No, we're doing it together.
Ew.
No, we're doing this as a group together.
And you're going to like it.
And you're going to like it. We're going to do. We'll tell you what it is. You do this for 20 seconds, and all your stress will go right away, as promised by scientists. And we'll do it at 8:20 together.
No.
We're doing it together. Stay here.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Okay, science has said that this time, right about now, 8:15, it's 8:20 right now, is the most stressful time of the day for everybody. You're trying to get out the door. You're thinking about the day ahead, work. Maybe your job just sucks, or you have some project today you just got to do. It's brutal. So 8:15, the most stressful time of the day. But the good news is we have relief for you here, Brian and Kenzie, in just 20 seconds. Science has also said this. If you do this for 20 seconds, all your stress goes away, and it's kind of like a Control-Alt-Delete on your computer. You'll reset your body, your brain. I'm not saying stress might not come back eventually, but...
Are you allowed to say this on the radio?
Well, I just did it during the commercial break.
Oh, God.
Clean up after yourself, Ryan.
It's disgusting.
Hey, Burger, come clean the board. Okay, it's not what you're thinking. It is. It's called a happiness hack. Hug yourself. Hug yourself.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
That's right. Exactly. Just give yourself, put your arms like totally really tight around your body like someone's hugging you. Hug yourself for 20 seconds, and it will relieve all your stress. So we're going to do it together as a group right now.
No.
Brian, Kenzie, and Case, the
What?
producer. We're not touching each other. We're just hugging ourselves.
Ugh.
You want to try it?
I don't want to do it in front of you.
You don't even want to hug yourself in front of me?
Not really. It's
Well,
very personal.
It does feel strangely intimate.
Well,
It is intimate.
well, we're close. So
Are we?
We were close.
Well, listen. This will take us to the next level of closeness. Then this will build us as a team. It's a team building exercise.
It's synergy.
See those bad bosses like, yeah, we're a team building exercise. You guys are going to give me all your money.
Can't we just do a 3-legged race instead?
No.
That would be way more fun.
Nope.
And order a pizza.
All right. No. We're not doing pizza. We're not doing Sbarro. We're going to just hug ourselves, not each other. We're going to hug ourselves. I'm going to put a clock on my iPhone here. Are you guys ready to go? I'll put some nice music on. Just really tightly wrap your arms around and hug yourself.
We're going to not talk for 20 seconds on the radio show.
Yep. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. Hug ourselves. And just say how it's feeling when you hug yourself. Anybody free to speak up, okay? So you can do that too, okay? Here's the music. 20 seconds. Go. Let's start right now. Hug ourselves. You know what? This feels good.
Your arms are huge. The way they're wrapped around your body.
I got a wingspan.
Oh my
good
God. Giannis Antetokounmpo on Q101.
I'm not kidding. This feels really good. What do you guys feel?
Not what you feel.
Pumping.
What'd you say, Kenzie?
I'm pumping. They're kind of in the way. It hurts.
Kenzie's pumping breast milk right now. Does it make
It's
it
not a
come
good time to do it.
Does it come out more right now when you're doing it?
Oh, I can't see. I have to hug myself.
All right, that's 20 seconds. Oh my God.
Do you feel good?
I do. Maybe because I just stretched a little bit. Like it feels like I just stretched out my arms and my shoulders. I feel good.
Well, what do you feel like you got out of your system there? Because clearly something was bothering you.
Probably me.
There you go. Well, listen, hopefully you did it with us and you feel much better. And if you don't, this song is perfect. My man from Stranger Things, I did an interview with him on the podcast, the Brian and Kenzie podcast. You can go find it there. Joe is the artist, of course. That's what he goes by as a music artist. Went to DePaul, and it's End of Beginning right now with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. This is relaxing. Enjoy. Stress-free.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So that's Joe, but it's Joe Kiri who plays Steve Harrington on Stranger Things. And I got to talk to him about a month ago. It's on the podcast. Dig a little bit deep there, but just search for Joe Kiri and find that. He was super fun, super nice. And that song is obviously trending if you hit on TikTok or any reels on your Instagram ever, because, back in Chicago, people are taking a lot of skyline views and using that part of the song. It's really awesome. And just a good vibe song, good feeling song. He went to DePaul, and he was in the interview, talked about how he pretty much was at DePaul when he auditioned for Stranger Things. He was doing a few other things. He'd just gotten out, was living over in Humboldt Park, and then got Stranger Things, and then he's on Stranger Things, the biggest show of the last decade, one of them anyway. Really cool story with him.
He's having a good time, man.
He's having a good time. And then this song is a couple years old, but just started trending on TikTok and Reels, and people using it. Now it's like huge song. When we talked to him, he's kind of surprised about all of it. He didn't really understand it, but he's loving it.
I love that.
More stuff going on with the Piece of Garbage Madness winner, Tiffany Dolton. This news broke pretty much in the last 24 hours. How a top aide of Tiffany Thornton, Tiffany Henyard,
you called her Tiffany Dolton, Tiffany Horton, and Tiffany Henyard.
It's like Dr. Seuss.
I know.
Tiffany Henyard, the Dolton mayor.
Yes.
Now, her top supervisor has been indicted for bankruptcy fraud. Keith Freeman's personal troubles could spell bigger problems for her boss. If you remember, we had Ben Bradley from WGN on, and this is one of the guys that shut a door in his face. Remember everybody shut doors in Ben Bradley's face?
Yes.
And he just keeps going. He's the Terminator. He's amazing in this reporting. Here's part of that story, the earlier story.
Henyard's namesake charity claims to support cancer patients and has benefited from public money, but has failed to file required paperwork showing where any of its money goes. The Illinois Attorney General is now threatening legal action.
How come you don't respond to my emails?
There you go. There you go.
Huh?
There you go. That's all you're getting from me. That's all you're getting from me today.
How come the charity hasn't filed its financial disclosures about how money was spent?
How would I know that? That's a good question, though.
I love him.
All these guys are kind of like, they're like lovable scumbags in a way. Like they are funny, like it's a sitcom, but yet they're doing evil things to the people that live down there. They're only making like $29,000
I don't know. That last guy
a year.
sounds innocent.
No, he's the one that just indicted. He's the first one down.
He's like, that's a good question. He's like, what? Who's going to answer this?
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to find that out for you. No, you're not. You're the one that's doing this stuff. Here's the full new report now on what happened when the federal indictment says Freeman not only failed to report his income from the village of Dolton, but actively hid it during bankruptcy proceedings by using a pass-through company, they call it, and a new bank. There's another learning lesson for people out there about the declare bankruptcy, I guess. Here's the story.
As WGN Investigates was first to report today, a top aide to Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has been indicted for bankruptcy fraud. It comes amid ongoing questions about Henyard's spending and leadership.
And legal experts say it could be the first sign that the feds are trying to get people to share what they know about potential government corruption in the South Suburb.
Let's be smarter than that. This is not just the price is right.
Despite sitting next to Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard at countless meetings, the feds allege Keith Freeman not only failed to report his income from the village, he actively lied about it. Freeman is Henyard's top aide in both Dolton and Thornton Township. As part of a personal bankruptcy case, he was required to report his earnings. But this indictment on one count of bankruptcy fraud says Freeman falsely stated he only worked for the township and made just over $99,000 last year.
Jeez.
Prosecutors say he tried to hide his Dolton earnings via a pass-through company, which brought his income to $195,000 last year.
Whoa.
They further allege the village of Robbins has a claim against Freeman for more than $90,000 he took without authorization from a previous post he held as village administrator there.
Good Lord.
I trusted him.
Don't be your heroes, Kenzie.
I liked his answer.
Yeah, I mean, good question. I'm going to find that out.
Yeah, I thought he sounded concerned.
This is not Chicago or like Naperville, let's say, or Schaumburg. This is Dolton, a depressed area where, like I said, the average salary is $29,000. People are struggling, trying to get through and work a hard job and live. And this guy's making $200,000 a year.
And he doesn't even know how to answer a question.
No. Come on, man. How does this get to this point? I know it's Illinois. I know it's Chicago. We're professionals in corruption, but this is elite corruption. This is unbelievable.
this is like a super task force.
Yeah.
They're like the Avengers.
Yeah.
For corruption.
Yeah, is the FBI like getting the Autobots to come down and the Transformers to come and take care of this? Because how are they? They're investigating and investigating. I get it. They're collecting data, but it seems like this could be the first domino to fall. This could be the first thing that finally takes them out.
I don't know. I just feel like there's enough data. Like, went to Vegas, like nothing in the city's fixed. Everyone made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know. End of, like, what else do you need to know?
I guess they really want to make sure they have everything totally nailed down before a court case where they can't get tripped up by anything. So they want to make sure it's completely done. Oh. But my God. Well,
now, what I'm curious about is, does Tiffany Henyard be like, I am disgusted by him, or does she stand by her people when this happens? Is she like, he's innocent, I'm going to come up with the paperwork? Or is she like, oh, well, he was the problem, and I'm so happy you've solved it and got him out of here. I want to know.
He's getting thrown under the bus so fast. Miss Frizzle is going to drive over him so quickly. That is a magic school bus with no brakes on it.
You think he's a sacrificial lamb?
100%.
Yeah. Now, Case, you've seen Shawshank now.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying listen, the end
what are you saying?
So, remember
hold on.
the end of Shawshank with what happens with the warden after he does throw other people under the bus all the way through, and eventually he's in a corner and he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what he does now?
Yeah.
The warden.
Uh-huh. I don't want that to happen to anybody. That's really sad.
I agree too, but then again.
What does he do again?
You don't remember what happens at the end of Shawshank?
When the police are looking for the warden and he locks himself in his office.
And then he's alone in the office, but
let's just say he's not hugging himself for 20 seconds.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.